Welcome to another edition of Starting Strong. Today we're going to talk a little bit about our weaning process and the transition from weaning in the hutches to the building here that we're going to talk about. I feel it's really important to make sure that the calves are eating enough grain. If we have a calf that isn't eating grain, we will leave her on milk and extend the weaning process another week or however long it takes to make sure she's eating enough. When I say enough, our calves are typically eating around a half a pail of grain at least every day. Our weaning process, at 6 weeks, we drop them down to 1 feeding a day, and they still get the 3/4 of a pail of milk in the morning, and at night they get water. Also, we give them pretty much as much grain as they want. I don't typically limit grain. If they eat a little bit more than a half a pail, I'm fine with that. They're on a once a day feeding for a week, and then they go to just strictly water twice a day for another week, and then at 8 weeks we move them from the hutches into the building. Group size varies a little bit depending on how big my weaning group is. I don't usually wean by rows, I wean by age. So some weeks we might have 10 calves and some weeks we might have 20 calves. So we try to keep an even number in the pen and no more than 8 at weaning time. Once they're in the building, we keep them on that same grain, the same starter grain, and we do pretty much let them have as much grain as they want, but we also introduce grass hay. And I really like to make sure we have a nice quality grass hay. Sometimes I think they eat the grass hay a little bit even better than maybe they eat the starter. It's a little bit like candy to them. But I think it's important that they get both of the grass hay and the grain. They're on their same grain for a week, and then we mix it for 5 days with the starter and the grower, and then they go to strictly grower for a week. Once they're transitioned well, we introduce some TMR and we lay some grower over the top in the morning just to make sure that they're getting enough energy and protein and growing and not getting a hay belly. I feel like our calves have done really, really well on this TMR mix, and it really helps them from slug eating grain also and being loose. So it's been a really good program for us. In this building that we're looking at right now, it's a 3-sided building. Like I said, I try to keep the groups smaller. I'd like to, in a perfect world, them to be 8 calves all the way down to the very end. Sometimes that doesn't happen depending on calf numbers, but we try to never get more than 9 or 10 in a pen. This building right here has 20 pens, so we average anywhere from 160 to 180 calves. We just keep moving the calves down as we take the bigger ones out and move them down below. So the calves just kind of keep filing down the building. This building we do scrape the litter alley, bed them, and clean the waters 3 times a week. And I feel like that's really important. The cleaner we can keep the litter alley, the cleaner they're going to be in the beds, and the cleaner the calves are going to be, which in the end is what's really important. And I think it really helps with respiratory also if they're clean and the straw is clean. So the program that I just explained has worked out really well. I feel like the increased milk that we've fed to the calves in the hutches has really, really helped our transition into the building and really reduced respiratory. I'm very happy with this building, and I hope you enjoy your summer, and we'll see you in the fall.